I was a kid, my grandfather was a wood stove installer, and I never even thought of him as a chimney sweep, and I didn't even know that he cleaned chimneys at all until later in life when I hired a guy that used to work with him. My name's Justin Bailey, and I'm a chimney sweep. But my grandfather had a lot of money, and he squandered the family fortune. He was kind of a playboy, and he did a lot of drinking and chasing women and played a lot of golf and wrecked a lot of cars and took a lot of trips. And by the time he was 65, all the money was gone. And he had 2 kids that lived in Taos, my mom and my uncle. So he moved to Taos and made friends with a guy that opened up a wood stove store. And it was the first time he ever had a job. I mean, like a job where he actually had to work. I mean, he had an office, but he was one of those guys back in the day that he would like practice his putt in the office all day long. But, you know, when he was 65, which is when most people would like to retire, he actually started working. The funny thing is that he was happier after he started working than he ever had been when he had everything he wanted. You know, my nature is to get stuck in a rut, to find a nice comfortable rut and just stay in it. That's the way I would actually prefer to do it if I had my way. But I try to get myself out of my comfort zone. Well, I've done a lot of things. For years and years I was a one-man chimney sweep, and it was very seasonal, and I would hire a helper in the busy time. And so it left me a lot of free time to do other stuff. So, you know, I've worked as a playwright in the schools, writing plays for disabled kids and general education kids together. And I've worked as a puppeteer, as a journalist. I used to have my own newspaper column. Well, I don't know if you'd call it work, but I did a lot of songwriting. I think I did get paid for like 2 of my gigs. And then I worked as a political organizer. For 3 years, I worked as a full-time political operative. And it got old. I got tired, I got burnt out. And I always had to spout the party line, and I started to miss the days when I made my own schedule and could say what I wanted and could think what I wanted and express myself freely. And so, you know, the 80-hour weeks kind of got to me, especially when it didn't seem like anything was happening, nothing was getting done. So my office was in Santa Fe at the time, and I realized that there was no certified chimney sweeps in Santa Fe at that time. So I started to think, well, maybe I'll open up my chimney business again. You start to realize, well, you know, if I can find the willingness to change myself a little bit, and then I can change my business, and then I can grow, and then my life can get better, and I can actually have more free time, even though my business is bigger and I make more money, and I'm providing jobs. So then it became, when I changed everything about the business, everything. I went to some clinics and some workshops and got some consulting, and we changed everything. You know, a big part of, what gives meaning to my job is creating jobs, creating good jobs for good people.